Hi guys, hope everyone's well and welcome back to the education section. So this video is going to be on what changes as we diet. So in terms of why the episode, it basically gives you the awareness of what may change and what you may want to keep an eye out for when it comes to a dieting phase. So it basically arms you with the knowledge to communicate maybe some potential issues that occur and arise throughout the diet, because without maybe having the knowledge, you might not know that they're potential issues, or you might not know that that's something that we can adjust and work around. And if you obviously have more knowledge as a client, typically you can communicate it better, and I can give you better feedback, I can give you better, or I can make more accurate adjustments on my end. And it allows you, obviously, after the coaching process, to know what adjustments to make in the future. So, what should change when you diet? For the most part, your habits and training you have in place shouldn't change much. It shouldn't really be drastically different. What built it usually keeps it, and what I mean by that is what usually builds your muscle, keeps that muscle mass on your frame. So the same principles kind of apply, and same with nutrition, the same principles apply for the most part. Obviously there's some changes here and there, but for the most part not a ton should really change when it comes to your diet. Your diet should kind of stay pretty similar for the most part, in terms of you still want to have a proper amount of meals, you still want to eat well around your training window in particular, be hydrated, etc. But there will be some more minor changes which we'll get to. So not that I ever preach about having poor consistency, but to start off, I want to say when you're in a dieting phase, it's a time to be on the ball and a bit more rigid with your routine. And typically, like, what I recommend doing and what I try and encourage clients to think about is it a good time for you to diet? If you've got a holiday coming up, you've got a wedding, you've got nights out, you've got your birthday that you're planning on going out with, and you either need to maybe be a bit more disciplined or not so much disciplined, maybe understand that if you start dieting, you will probably it'll be a bit more of a struggle. You're not setting yourself up for success, so you might have to be a bit more disciplined on handling those events than if you're in a gaining phase, if you want to progress while doing so. Or alternatively, you could think, would another period be better for myself to diet? So you want to kind of think when's an appropriate time to diet for yourself, because you don't want to, let's say, diet for the Christmas holidays, for example. And if you can avoid it, like if you've got like a really busy time with uni, then you can consider that and maybe spend a bit more time bulking or gaining and then diet afterwards. So a big part of like success with a dieting phase is setting yourself up for success, making sure the time's right to diet for yourself. Same applies with like your diet start point, like where's your food at? Is your food an appropriate level to pull calories away from? Are you really hungry, or is your hunger low? Things like that. So yeah, when we're dieting, it's a time to be a bit more on the ball and rigid with our routine on a day-to-day basis. And maybe try and have potentially a wee bit less nights out, and maybe social events, etc. if you want to get the most out of your diet. What I mean by that is we can go out, we can enjoy ourselves, we can balance both, but it is a time to knuckle down slightly, because we already have poorer recovery and poorer calories. So combining that with nights out, poorer sleep and nutrition typically won't go amazing. So it is generally good to either try and maybe have a wee bit, or plan your diet around the time you kind of think about, or you're okay with drinking a bit less, or just understanding that it could potentially harm the end product of that dieting phase. You can definitely do both, but the end product might not be as great, however. But yeah, it's generally good to diet at a time when you've got a bit less on, so you can just get the head down. So the first thing I'm going to touch on that changes as we diet is our recovery capabilities. So food, along with sleep and stress, play a big part in our ability to recover from training. And we have less food when we're dieting, so our recovery capabilities can diminish, meaning you can recover from less. So what you might find is, like, not so much towards the start of a diet, but more so towards the end, you might not be able to recover as well in the gym. So as a result, we might want to do less. So we stay training within our recovery capabilities. Exceeding our recovery capabilities will just cause a drop off in performance, which will cause a drop off in muscle mass and a higher injury risk, which is not ideal. So yeah, it doesn't make sense like changing anything, or let's say increasing how much we're doing when we can recover from training less, because Even if, let's say, we're doing more steps, we're doing more cardio, and we're eating less food, they're going to be things that are going to impact and eat up our recovery abilities. So we should make sure what we're doing in the gym's in line with that. And not that we need to drop it, but if we have signs, then we could potentially decrease how much we do in the gym, if that makes sense.